Donald Supper in 1950s gave the developmental theory of career development. And nowadays, it is considered to be a landmark shift because he shifted it from just a singular point of choice to a lifelong process. He emphasized the development of self-concept in the career development journey. What is self-concept? Self-concept is how we see ourselves, how we evaluate ourselves, how we perceive our behavior, our attitudes, our values, and how that changes over life. Donald Supper linked self-concept with career development. And if you look at your own lives, at your own self-concept, at how you look at yourselves, you will understand and realize that you are not the same, or you don't look at yourself in the same way, believe of yourself in the same way as you did, say, 5 years ago. And you definitely will not be looking at yourself, evaluating yourself exactly the way you're doing it today, 5 years hence. So you see that self-concept actually changes and it develops over time with experience. And that is the ingredient that Donald Supper inculcated in the map of career development. He gave us 5 stages, which were growth, exploration, establishment, maintenance, and decline. And he said that we go through these stages of self-concept as well as career development. So growth was between age of 0 to 14. Exploration is between 15 to 24. Establishment is between 25 to 44. And maintenance is between 45 to 64. And decline is 65 plus. Now, interestingly, in growth, one is learning, is developing the concepts of self, attitudes, some kind of idea of work. In exploration, one is trying out things, trying out work, trying out experiences, trying out hobbies, internships, trying to figure it out, basically. In establishment, one has entered with entry-level skills, and then one is trying to establish oneself in that space of work that they have chosen. In maintenance, one is continuing to progress and process, make adjustments so as to maintain their position. And decline, of course, one starts to get ready for retirement. Now, why is this important for us to know that self-concept and career development are linked? It is important because in earlier days, in years, many years ago, where we talk about, say, maybe our parents, at least my parents, because I'm older, we knew about them as they would join up one career and one organization and not shift from there. They would enter and retire their entire job lives from into and from one place. But nowadays, we know that people of the younger generation will see at least 2 to 3, if not more, career transitions. So, one more very important concept that Donald Supper introduced was something called vocational maturity, which he said may or may not correspond to chronological age. Meaning to say that we might have a person who, by age, might be in the establishment period or stage. But that is the point they want to maybe shift their careers. They want a shift in their jobs, in the complete job role that they've been doing. And they will suddenly come down to maybe growth, exploration, and establishment again. It might be a faster process for them. But this is what Donald Supper wanted to talk about because he spoke about it as a transition. He spoke about it as a lifelong process. We will see that often when we speak to people who are young adults, maybe slightly older as well, who want to change their jobs. And we know, I'm sure you also know of so many people who, after having worked in jobs job roles in organizations now want to start something of their own. They want to maybe set up their own business. Or they don't want to set up their own business, but they want to go and work freelance. They want to work as consultants. We have people who might want to do that in the same job space that they've been working in, or maybe they will shift completely. Like a marketing executive might now want, and he's ranked high in his organization, and now he's done with that, and he wants to shift into maybe helping people understand the behavior or consumer behavior. And he wants to become a consultant of that. So this is where Donald Supper's developmental theory of career development was a landmark shift. And as compared to the Holland's hexagonal, the Rison's model, where it said that one aspect of yours will help you decide what career you take up, Donald Supper's theory gave us an array of things that we could transition into. It didn't limit us to just one thing. And that is something very interesting, because right now, at this point of time in life, you might be able to relate with this, where you might want to think that I might want to change right now. And you might do that. So Donald Supper's theory does deserve a little deeper dive, which I would encourage you to do. Donald Supper's developmental theory, which made career development a lifelong process, because it linked the development of self-concept to career development. Self-concept which develops over years with experience, and that changes how we look at ourselves and the career points that we are in. This theory has far-reaching applications. It assists people in understanding their vocational self-concept, and that helps them to select their careers, especially if they want to transition into other careers. It helps people to understand their personal values and how to express them in different life stages and lifetimes that they are in, the life roles that they might be playing at that point of time. And the career rainbow is a very useful tool to help the young people understand the future roles that they might be playing as they look at the rainbow and the ages and the stages that they might be in. So Donald Supper's theory of developmental theory, and which linked self-concept to the career development, is now seen as a landmark theory and is very, very helpful.